Hello students, welcome to engineering assignments. In the last video we were discussing about different types of learning. In that we have covered supervised learning. In this video we'll be dealing with various other types of learning. So just let us revise what is supervised learning, then we'll go to other types of learning.
Supervised learning, as you all know, that is a task of learning function that maps an input to the output based on the example input-output pair.
In the last video you have seen that in supervised learning method a table was given and this table was learned by the model, and whatever input was given for testing will be passed on through that model and the final answer will be displayed.
Next is unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning algorithm used to draw inferences from the data set consisting of input data without label response.
In supervised learning, there was a table which is given for learning, but here there's no such options. There's no supervisor.
We only have the input data. Here our aim is to find the regularity in input.
As there is no supervisor, neither a table to learn. Here, instead of learning from the table, it will check for some regularity in the input. And this is how in unsupervised learning, the input is mapped to the output.
So here there are no output value, so there is no estimation of these functions. Since example given to a learner are unlabeled, the accuracy of the structure that is output by an algorithm cannot be evaluated.
Now let me give you a clear example of what I meant. Suppose you have a basket and it's filled with some of different types of fruits. It is filled with apples, cherries, bananas and grapes. And your task is to arrange them as a group. You will take a fruit and you will arrange them by considering the physical characteristics of that particular fruit. Suppose we are going to consider color. So what we will do here is we will arrange them according to the base condition, that is color. So here first group is red color group. We have apples and cherry. Next green color group, it will be banana and grapes. So here what we have done is according to the color we have categorized them. Now you can even take another physical characteristics such as size. First category is red color and big size. We'll have apple here. Now red color and small size, we have cherry fruit here. Green color and big size group, we have bananas. Then green color and small size, we have grapes. So here also we have categorized them. So the main notion here is that the task of the machine is to group the unsorted information according to the similarities, patterns and differences. So there was a difference between colors, and with that we have categorized them. And there was no any prior training of the data. So there was not any table here. It has analyzed using similarities or some patterns or some difference among the data. I hope now you have got a clear understanding about it.
Okay. The most common unsupervised learning method is cluster analysis, which is used for exploratory data analysis to find the hidden pattern and grouping in the data.
Cluster means nothing, it is just a grouping. For example, you can see here Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, Mickey Mouse, Bug Bunny, Daffy Duck. These all cartoon characters are given. Now, according to some similarity or according to some hidden pattern, we are going to cluster them into a group. We know that the Donald Duck, Daisy Duck as well as Daffy Duck, they all are the cartoon characters that belong to a duck, so they are grouped together. Next is Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse belongs to the mouse category, so it is left alone in one group. Then next is Bug Bunny. We don't have any rabbit inside here, so it is also inside another group. Like this we have grouped them into some clusters. So this is the concept of clustering. Clustering is a main task of exploratory data mining, and it's used in many fields including machine learning, pattern recognition, image analysis, information retrieval, bioinformatics, data compression and computer graphics. It can be achieved by various types of algorithms that differ significantly in the notion of what constitute a cluster and how efficiently find them. So popular notion of the cluster includes group with small distances between the cluster member, dense area of the data space, etc. In addition to cluster analysis, there are some more examples of unsupervised learning method, that is association analysis, segmentation, dimensionality reduction. Next, we are going to study what is association analysis. So let us check out what do you mean by learning association. Association rule learning is a machine learning method for discovering interesting relation called association rules between variables in a large database using some measures of interestingness. To understand this, I'll give you an example. Consider an example of supermarket where a customer is coming to that supermarket and buying bread and jam. You can say that there is a relation between bread and jam. So a person who is buying bread will also buy jam. Such method of searching pattern or relationship from a huge database is called association mining or learning association rule. So how association rule is written? The association rule is written like this: X tends to Y. It means that if the people buy X, then they are also likely to buy Y. So we are interested in learning a conditional probability of form probability of Y when X is given, and there Y is a product the customer may buy and X is a product or the set of product the customer has already purchased. For example, we know that there is some association between bread and jam. So it can be represented as P jam given bread, which is equal to 0.7, means 70% of customer who buys bread will also buy jam. See the example 2. P burger given potato onion, which is equal to 0.8. That means 80% of customer who buys potato onion buys a burger. Now, it's basically used in market basket analysis, which enables cross-selling. That is, a knowledge of such rules can be used for promotional pricing or product placement in the supermarket. Many of the customers buying bread and jam together, you can keep the bread and jam in proximity, or you can keep the bread and jam far away from each other so that the customer can pick up the other items along the way. So here it will increase the sales by helping the retailer to do selective marketing and plan their shelf space accordingly. If we want to make distinction among the customers, we can estimate P, Y given X, comma D. D means it's a customer attribute. It can be the gender, age, and so on. So most common association rule algorithms are a priori algorithm, eclat algorithm, FP growth algorithm. FP stands for frequency pattern. Now let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of unsupervised learning. So advantage of unsupervised learning is unsupervised learning is used for more complex tasks as compared to supervised learning, because in unsupervised learning we don't have any labeled input. So always the labeling is not possible for some complex task. At that time you can use unsupervised learning method. Unsupervised learning method is preferably as it is easy to get unlabeled data in comparison to the labeled data. Next is disadvantages of unsupervised learning. The first thing, of course, it is very difficult than the supervised learning technique because it doesn't have any corresponding output. And the result of this unsupervised learning algorithm might not be accurate. It will be less accurate as the input data is not labeled and the algorithm does not know the exact output in the advance. So this is all about unsupervised learning. So in the next video, we'll be discussing about semi-supervised learning. So thank you students. Thank you for watching my video.